Okay, good day. I am Dr. Noraini Jafar. Today I will be showing you experiment number 5, which is coagulation and flocculation experiment. In this experiment, we will be using the flocculation and coagulation process to remove colloidal particles from water. Colloidal particles are very small particles. They are very difficult to be removed by normal sedimentation method due to its small size and the presence of negative charges on its surface. We will use aluminum sulfate as the coagulant because it can neutralize the negative charges on colloidal particles and allow the particles to agglomerate. The efficiency of removal depends on several factors, such as the pH and the coagulant dose. For this experiment, I will be assisted by Mr. Ahmad Bukhari. The equipment that we will use in this experiment is the pH meter, the turbidity and the jar test equipment. And we will also be using aluminum sulfate as the reagent. This is the pH determination step. First, take some water sample and put it in the small beaker. Then insert the pH probe into the water sample. Make sure the probe is immersed in the sample. Then start the pH meter and wait until you get a stable reading. After that, record the pH. The next step is to determine the turbidity of the sample. For this, we'll be using a turbidity meter. To do this, we will put the sample into the cuvette and put it in the sample compartment. Push the on button and wait until you get a stable reading. Record the turbidity data. This is the initial turbidity data. This is the jar test equipment for the coagulation and flocculation step. We use 6 beakers and each beaker contains 1 liter sample water. We will use aluminum sulfate as the coagulant. For beaker number 1, we do not add any aluminum sulfate. This is the control sample. For beaker number 2, we will put 0.2 gram of aluminum sulfate. Beaker number 3, 0.4 gram. Beaker number 4, 0.6 gram. Beaker number 5, 0.8 gram. And the last beaker, 1 gram of aluminum sulfate. Set the timer to 3 minutes and the RPM to 250 RPM for the flash mixing step. At this step, put in the flocculant or the aluminum sulfate into each beaker. Allow the mixing for 3 minutes at 250 RPM. Allow 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, reduce the speed to 30 RPM for 30 minutes duration. After the 30 minutes duration, remove the pedal from the beaker and allow the sample to settle for another 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, take the sample and determine the final pH and turbidity. Okay, after the experiment, you will use the data to find the colloidal removal efficiency based on the turbidity results. You should be able to select the best dose that results in the clearest water. That's all for the experiment for coagulation and flocculation. I hope you'll be able to discuss the experiment finding in your report based on the data given to you. Thank you very much.